fractions together?
So we usually do like 3 and 2. How many times does 3 go into 2? Which is they can't, well, 3
Okay, so
can't,
this one's, yeah,
yeah,
this is a little bit different. You actually multiply the top and multiply the bottoms.
yeah.
So what does the bottom become?
So the top one becomes a 1 and the second one probably becomes like a,
Okay, I think we've got a disconnect here. So when you multiply fractions, you just multiply the top numbers.
yeah.
3 times 1 is 3, and the bottom
And
numbers 4 times 2 is 8.
yeah.
Does this look like something you've been working on?
Yeah, it does, but we usually do like the top and the bottom and then the top and the bottom.
Okay. So for a future lesson, maybe you could send over a picture. Have mom send over a picture because what I'm hearing sounds more like adding fractions, something like this. Does that look familiar to you? And then this is where you would maybe take this 2 and multiply it by the 3,
Probably because we usually
possibly.
like, yeah, we usually like in math, we usually like times it and do the same thing or plus it.
Okay. So there's actually a step that leads into this before we get to adding fractions. Well, let's just carry on this idea of how to multiply fractions for a moment here. Let's say I ask you to do like 5/6 times 2/3. So I want you to multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms.
So 5/6 times 2/3.
So
And
just
multi
like I have here. Yeah, multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms.
okay. So 5 and 2 is 10. 6 and 3, 18. So it's so like do what we did up here, like cross from each other, right?
Nope, nope, just give me the top number and the bottom number.
The top number. So if you time, oh, okay. And then it's that one's 10
Okay, and the bottom number?
is 6 times 3 equals 18.
Good. Now, does this fraction reduce?
Does it reduce?
Yes.
I think it, mm, I think it does.
Okay. So this is sort of me testing your knowledge here. What happens when you divide both of these numbers by 2?
If I divide both of them by
Yes.
2 equals 10 divided by 2, 5 here, 18 divided by 2, 15. So if I divide them by 2, so 10 divided by 2 would be, wait, I did my math wrong. Divided by 2 is 5. So 10 divided by 2, I think, is 5, right?
Good, good. And 18 divided by 2?
18 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2. 2, 2. Is it like, oh, isn't it 4? Or is it
So think of it this way. 2 times what number gets you back to 18?
9?
9. That's the answer.
Oh, oh, I understand.
Okay. Let's try one more here. Let's try 5/9 times 3/10.
5/9 times 3/10 equals 5 times 3. So 5 times 3,
Yes,
9 times 10.
good.
So those two equal. So 5 times 3 is 15. 10 times 9, 9 times 10 is basically, so 15, and that one is 9. Well, yeah, 90.
90. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does this fraction reduce?
Does this one reduce?
Yes. Is there a number that you can divide both the top and the bottom by? And there is. I'm gonna start with 3. Can you divide each of these by 3?
Let me see. So 3 divided by 15, so it's 7.
Okay,
So
so think of it this way. 3 times what number is 15?
so
I heard 7, but 3 times 7 is 21.
yes, it is. Ugh,
Okay,
it's 5.
it is 5. Okay, and then 90 divided by 3. What is 9 divided by 3? Just start with that. What would 9 divided by 3 be?
9 divided by 3 was isn't it 27?
That's if you multiply. You're mixing the operations. So 3 times what number is 9?
Um so 3 times 9. So 3
No, no,
times 9.
are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So like there's some number, 3 times some number gets you back to 9. And you want to like say, okay, well, 3 times 1
3
is
times
3.
1 is 3.
Okay,
And
so
then
3
3
times
times
2 is
2 is 6. And
okay,
then 3 times 3 is 9.
okay.
Oh,
There's
so
the answer.
3.
There's the answer, 3. Yes. So 3. Okay. So let me just throw some problems here. Different problems here. What is that? What is 6 times 5? What is 4 times 7? What is 8 times 9? What is 11 times let's go 6. Could you tell me these, please?
So 6 times 5 is 30.
Okay,
4 times 7 is 28.
good,
9 and 8 is 72.
good.
11 times 6 is 66.
Okay, so these are all good. These are all really good. One of the oddities for me is that your division is that's something you're kind of struggling with. Is that it's fair to say that you've been struggling
Yeah.
with okay. All right. We don't need to work at that in today's lesson, but that is something to kind of think about here. Okay. I just want to switch up a little bit here. Because I was kind of expecting us to do something different. I do want to get to some of these problems here. Um, do you know how to solve an equation like this?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me the answer?
Yeah. Let me just write this down. X equals 2 check 1. So what I usually do is I usually put the line in between the equal sign,
Okay,
make a little tiny cross at the bottom, like a cross at the bottom, like an upside down cross.
that's okay. Yeah, just tell me. Yeah, give me the answer. We'll talk about the work here in a moment.
So the answer is 2 weeks after. So basically, that's what I got 2 because
Okay, so let's just try your answer. Let's just try it. And that's always a good idea. 2 plus 4, does that equal
it
2?
equals 6. Yeah.
This cannot be correct because it's got to equal 2. So let's take a look at let's take a look at something else here. Um, you subtract 4 from both sides. What is 2 minus 4?
2 minus 4 is still 2 if you do 4, but if it's 2 minus 4, then that's
Okay.
basically 0.
All right. So there's a small issue there. The answer is actually -2. -2. That's so let's try something else here. 7 times y equals 42. Do you remember how to solve something like this?
Equals 42. 7 times 6 equals 42.
Okay, so you actually divide both sides by 7, then yes, y equals 6. Very good. Okay. All right, so let me just start fresh here with something. We'll get back to some of those other things, but sometimes we've got to go in and work on something else. When you're adding and subtracting numbers, there are two cases. I know this seems like I can't believe we're going back to this. It's really important that you get this down. And I just saw a couple things that concern me, so I want to address that right now. So there's two cases. Case number one is when they're the same sign. Okay. And here's an example. What is 3 plus 4? And you already know the answer. It is
Yeah, it's 7.
7. Now, how did you get the answer? Here's how. And you didn't even know you did this. You keep the sign. They're both positive. Do you see that? These are both positive numbers, positive 3 and positive 4. So you keep the sign. And then the second thing you did is you added the numbers without the sign. And you didn't even know you were doing this, but you did. Okay. So here's why it matters. What is -5 plus -2?
-5 plus -2 is 7. Positive 7.
Well, you keep the sign. Are they both negative?
Yes.
Yes. So the answer is negative, and then you add the numbers without the sign. So you look at that as 5 and 2 without the sign. What is 5 plus 2? You already
5
answered
plus
that. It is.
7.
So this final answer is -7. Okay, so we're gonna do a few more examples here, but you keep the sign and you add the numbers without the sign. Like what is -8 plus -4? Is the
Negative
answer
8
yes,
is 12. Well, yeah, -12.
-12. The negative is really important. It's like going on the wrong side of the road or going left when you should have gone right, or a lot of examples. Do you play any sports?
Yes.
What sports do you play?
Flag football.
Flag football. So it's really bad when you run the wrong direction. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the difference between positive and negative. It's like just totally wrong. So you can't do that. All right. So now here's another variation. What if it's -6 minus 3? Are these both same sign?
No, they're
So they
different.
they they kind of look, but what if I change this to -6 plus -3? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, is when you change the sign. So I've seen that before. It's when like two are negative. Well, one is negative and one is positive. So you make the sign positive, but the number negative.
Yeah. So
So you
these
can
are these th-
positive.
these are considered same sign 'cause it's really -6 and -3. Okay. Now if you need to, you can rewrite it just like you did here. So these are same signs. So you keep the sign and you add the numbers without the sign.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple examples here to try on your own.
5. So it's -11.
All right, go ahead and try these for me, please.
Okay. So okay, let me write these down. So 12, 12 3 equals -15. Okay, so -5 plus -11 equals -16.
Good,
So positive 12 plus positive 13 equals 15.
good.
-12 plus 5. So -12 plus 5 is so is -7 is now -12 plus -5 equals -17.
Okay, good.
And then -5 plus -8 is -13.
Very good. Very good. So everything I just told you was for when the two numbers are same sign. So the other possibility is that they are opposite in sign. Opposite in sign. And that means there's one positive and one negative.
Oh,
Okay, so let's look at an example. And that's gonna be a silly example because you already know the answer. What is 7 minus 3?
What is 7 minus 3 is 4?
4. Now, here's how you did that. You first determined the sign of the answer. Even if you don't think you did this, you actually did this. By looking at which number is further from 0. So we're looking at 7 and -3. Which is further from 0? Well, 7 is. So you know the answer is positive. The number
Yeah.
that's further from 0 tells you the sign. The second thing you do here is you take the larger number and subtract the smaller number without the sign. So you look at the two numbers without the sign. Okay, 7 and 3. 7 minus 3. What is 7 minus 3?
7
What's
minus 3 was 4.
That's 4. So the answer is positive 4. So let's look at an example where this is more clear because you're like, wait, this is silly. But you are going to do this. You're going to first determine the sign by determining which number is further from 0. That tells you the sign. Then you take the larger number and subtract the smaller. So let's look at
Oh,
another example here. Let's say it's -8 plus 5.
3
One
plus.
negative, one positive. -8, one negative, one positive.
So what you did here, so what you do is since there are two different signs, you turn the 5 into a
No, no,
negative.
no, no, no,
Wait,
no. You determine the sign. Which is further from 0, -8 or +5?
positive 5.
Further from 0. So on a number line, let me grab a number line here, and that's real quick here. So I'm gonna go just grabbing a snip here, something I can grab real quick. Okay. So here is 5, here is -8, there's 0. Which is further from 0? Which is further away?
Which one's further away is -8.
So the answer is negative, okay? And then you take the numbers without the signs. So you just say up without the signs, and you take the larger and subtract the smaller. What is 8 minus 5?
8 minus 5 is -3.
So the whole thing is -3, but 8 minus 5 is +3.
Mhm.
Do you follow that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at another one here. Let's say it's 5 minus 9, okay?
Hmm.
This is really 5 plus -9. You see how I did that?
Yes, I
So
do.
which is further from 0, the 5 or the -9?
The -9.
So that means your answer is negative, okay?
Yes.
And then you take the two numbers without the sign. So without the sign, take the larger and subtract the smaller,
Which is 4.
4. So this becomes -4.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at another one here. -8 plus 12. Which is further from 0, -8 or 12?
12.
The answer is positive. We don't write the positive, but for now we write the positive. Then you look at the numbers without the sign. Which is larger, 12 or 8?
12.
You take 12 and subtract 8. What is the answer?
So subtract, so 12 take away, so 12 and subtract 8 is 16 because you're
What?
subtracting.
12 minus 8. I'm just this part inside parentheses.
12 minus 8 is 16. 16.
I have no idea how you came up with that. It's like you have $12 and you buy something for $8. You have $4 left over.
That's right.
Okay, and then it's positive because of that right there. Okay, let's try a couple more here. -9 plus 6. Which is further from 0, the -9 or 6?
-9.
So the answer is negative. Then you take the numbers without the sign, and you take the larger and subtract the smaller.
9 take away 6 is 3.
Yes. And so the answer is -3. All right, let me have you try some problems here. Go ahead and try these four for me, please.
-5 plus 4 is -1.
Okay,
7 take away 3 is 4.
that's not what this says. This says 3 take away 7. Then the order matters. And you try to do them the way we've been doing them, rather than relying on maybe a past idea of how to do these. Like figure out which one is further from 0, determine the sign, then take the larger and subtract the smaller.
7 is farther from 0.
This is -7 though.
Oh, it looked like subtracting.
It is, but you can rewrite it at like this. I'm sorry, rewrite it as 7 like that. And you should do that. If you're not sure, you should rewrite it.
And then, and then since this is the 7 is negative, you do a positive sign and then it's -3. Wait, no, sorry, I'm wrong. So 7 plus 3 is -10.
But that's not what we do. What is the rule for opposite and sign?
You have to make them both the same, like you have to make
Okay.
both.
Did you write this down?
Yes.
Okay, what do you have written down? Like, it doesn't matter what I wrote down, it's what you wrote down. Tell me what you have written down for this.
So this is determine the number, and then that's it.
Okay,
So
you kind of trailed off. What is the first thing you do?
you have to determine the number.
The
So
sign, the
yeah,
sign, the sign. It's different than the number, the sign. Which is further from 0, 3 or -7?
-7, and then you
Okay,
have yeah. So it's gonna be
then what's the second step?
the second step is to let me look back on my paper. Okay, the second step, since it's the two different signs, you have to see which one's farther. So 7 is farther, and then you have
-7,
yeah,
-7.
-7 is farther. So after that, you have to make the two numbers. Yeah, basically what you did.
Without the sign. You write them without the sign, just two numbers, and then you take the larger and subtract the,
You take the larger and you subtract the smaller number.
yes. So now you know your answer is negative, then you're just figuring out what is 7 minus 3.
7 minus 3 is -4.
The whole thing is -4, yes. All right. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Number 10. So number 10. I have a question. Is that a -8 or is that the sign? Oh,
This is 10 plus -8. If you
oh,
want to rewrite it, you can always change the subtraction to plus negative. And it sounds like that's the thing for you to do that each time.
okay. And then turn 10 plus -8. Do it without the sign. So 10, 8 equals 10 plus 8 is, so then the answer is -18 for the bottom one.
Okay,
10.
so we've got a huge disconnect here. Let's look at this together. I'm gonna just write it one more time. Which is further from 0, 10 or -8?
-8. So
Okay,
you
but that's the basis of our, that's a huge problem. Let me grab a snip of this again, of this number line. I'm gonna graph them here. Here's 10, here's -8. Which is further from 0?
10
Yes, so is the answer positive or negative?
positive. So it's
Positive.
it's
Then,
positive.
then you take the numbers without the sign,
That's what I did on my paper, and then it equaled to
always subtract. You subtract them.
yeah. So
10 minus 8 is not 18.
no, 10 minus 8 was 2.
So the answer is positive 2. You have to follow the steps. The first one is which is further from 0. That tells you the sign. Then you make the numbers without the sign. You have the larger subtract the smaller. So let's
Yeah.
try a few more. How about the -5 plus 3?
-5 plus 3. So the one that's farther from 0 is -5.
So the answer is negative.
Yes. Then
Then
you do the numbers without the sign. So that'll be positive. So plus, so 5 plus 3.
no, you always subtract. You always subtract. You're mixing the rules. You always subtract. Larger minus the smaller.
So 5 subtract 3 is 2. So that's -2.
Yeah. So that's where I'm not sure what you have written out, but I'll try to do better. I don't write well sometimes. Step 1 is to determine the sign.
2.
Which number is further from 0? Okay. That's how you figure it out. Step 2, you write the numbers without the sign. Then you take the larger and subtract the smaller.
Seven. Two. Three. Nine. Two. Three.
Throw rocks through your windows, you dumb.
You have this down?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try the type that you've been struggling with. 1 minus 7. You should immediately change this to 1 plus -7.
So the one that's further from 0
Yes.
is -7.
Yes.
Do them without the sign. So you say 1 subtract 7,
It,
negative
it,
7. Well,
it's
7.
it's the larger subtract the smaller. So you see, like, which is larger, 1 or 7? That's 7 is larger, the 1 is smaller.
Yeah. And then 7, -7. Well, 7 subtract 1. 7 subtract 1 is 6. So not the answer is -6.
Good. Very good. Okay, let's have you try a couple here on your own.
Six. Okay, I got one for both for 2. So I got 5 plus -2. Do them without the sign. So 5 subtract 2 equals 3.
Okay, good.
Then I do have the bottom one for 2.
Give me just your final answer. Give me just the final number, please.
Okay, it's 3.
For this one or the one below it.
Below it, right here.
Okay, keep going. What's the one for the one on the right?
So 3. Okay, let me do that. So 3, 4, 7. And negative. Okay, I got one for the top one. So 7 equals 4. Then for that the bottom one is 3.
Okay, so this is correct, this is correct. These are not correct. And I don't think you followed it seems like you're transposing the digits, like you're looking at this as 7 minus 3 on the top right. 2 minus 5 is 2 plus -5. Which of those numbers is further from 0?
The one that's further is 5. So that's why I did 5.
-5.
Yeah, so that's why I
So
did
the
5.
answer is negative.
Yeah. So
Okay,
so it's
but you
negative.
did, but that's a very important part of it. Like, why not give me, I'd rather you give me the wrong number, but say that it's negative. Like that's a better thing.
So the answer is -3, right?
Yes, yes.
I had that written down and I didn't say. Oh my god.
Okay, well, that's good. Here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna give you some new problems, give you a chance to redeem yourself here. So let's take a look here. 7 minus 11 equals -13 plus 6 equals 5 plus -8 equals 9 minus 7 equals. All right, go ahead and try these 4 for me, please.
Okay. So 7 minus 11. So 11.
Say it with me now. Fire. Like if you trust the tape, just leave it, girl. Just leave it or get off of it. It's too late. And it was
Or
first one to knock girl over.
You had one job and still failed.
To ask you out on a date.
It's like you said, do not touch bread with hands. Please use cup. Okay, go crazy. Next time. This person asked for one pepperoni pizza and they go. This time said no cake.
and then for 5
This puzzle says this is
plus
a box.
-8.
I went to life to my entire life.
Eight
And this
subtract
person got the school to be able to get their bed.
-3.
Not even cook.
9.
Just getting lazy. It's like, man,
I have a question.
Yes.
For the bottom one for 9, is it 9 minus 7 or is it
Yes.
9 negative 7?
It's 9 minus 7, but you could change it to 9 plus -7 if you prefer.
Okay, I got one for all 4. So for 9 and 11, I got 4.
Okay, whoa, this is 7 minus 11.
Yes, 7 minus 11. So what I got was 4.
Okay,
4.
why is it positive?
Because both numbers are positive.
Okay, we've done like 10 examples of this. This is
Oh.
7 plus -11.
Yeah, so
Or you have to look at it like, okay, there's really a plus there. It's +7 and -11. Like, I'm not mixing it up. I'm giving you the same problems over and over again. One positive, one negative.
you forgot to sew the rest of the jeans, man. I know
Okay.
some people are on a budget, but come on now. Did you run out of material? Like you just ran out of denim? Like you couldn't sew the rest of it up? They're not if they're wearing this like this jeans. You won't be seeing all of it.
it's -4.
Yes, very good. Okay, keep going through the rest.
And then
And then you got
-3 plus 6 equals,
Okay, this is -13 plus 6. You said
yeah,
-3.
yeah, -13.
Okay,
Negative
plus
8
6.
plus 6. And then 13 subtract 6.
I just gotta ask, like, are you able to see my screen and is it large enough on whatever device you're using?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you can't see something, please let me know. I can make it bigger. I can do a lot of things here to help.
Okay, is the bottom one for 13, negative 13 plus 6? I got negative 7.
Yes. -7. Good.
For 5 plus negative 8,
Uh-huh.
I got negative 3.
Good. Keep going.
For 9, negative 9 plus negative 7, I subtracted it and I got 2.
Okay, these are all correct. These are all correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me give you. You got to do them all correct the first time. That's kind of the gate here. So let's try this again. 4 plus -5. 9 minus 3. 16 minus 18. 12 plus -30.
Almost done.
Ice cream cake. All right. Here we go. Wedding. What's that? No wedding. Don't. Yeah. Don't on. This TikTok filter must be stopped. This girl got the scariest evil Disney villain eyes I've ever seen in my life. Ursula, you are not allowed to get any more deals with her. It's not gonna work. I mean, congratulations on getting married, Mazel tov, but yeah, you gotta take that TikTok filter off. Do you know about these one-way job interviews where you talk into the camera, there's no one there, and an AI is screaming the whole time. If you haven't done this yet, you might soon there's no cases. So it needs to tell you that if you get a request to hire me for a smart hire one-way interview, it's likely that all of the competition got that same request. When you respond to the prompts, they will put you in these 3 tiers automatically. And that is sorting it so that when a human goes in, they'll look at the applications that were in the top tier first and work their way down. So if you end up getting in one of these lower tiers, your application will never.
Okay, I got an answer for all of them. So for
Okay, give me your answer.
So for 4 plus -5, I got -1.
Good. Keep going.
For the second one, -9 plus 3, I got -6.
Okay, this is +9 though.
Oh,
Why did you tell me why you thought this was negative? Because it's if there's nothing written, it's plus in front.
oh. No, because I saw the sign, like the subtracting sign more closer to
Right.
the 9. So I thought it was like,
But it always goes to the right. The operator goes to the right.
oh,
If it were negative, like this would be -9. See how the negative's on the left, it goes to the one on the right.
okay, I got my answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
It's +6.
Good.
And
Okay,
then
let's keep
for
going.
16, so for 16 and -18, I got +2.
Okay, that's correct. Sorry. Which is further from 0? The
For which
16 or the -18?
-18.
Okay, so the answer has to be negative.
So it's -2.
Yeah.
For 12 plus -30, I got -28.
It could be -18. -18. Okay, let's go back to the we talked about the case where they are same sign.
Yeah.
So they're same sign, you keep the sign. So if they're both positive, then the answer's positive. They're both negative, you make them negative, and then you add the numbers without the sign.
Yeah.
Will you get this down in your notes, please?
Yeah. I was already writing. Done.
Okay, so a couple of problems like we've done before. What is -5 plus -8?
The negative, so that'll be, since they're both negatives, you keep the sign and you'll do 5, so 5 subtract
No, no,
8,
what does this say here?
add the number without the sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's why I said
But-
5 subtract 8.
but
And
that's
then-
not adding. Adding
No.
means plus.
No,
So adding numbers means you're adding them without the sign.
yeah.
So you have to add. You can't put a minus there. You can't. It's not subtract. It's add. Like I mean, just to be clear, like this means subtract. This means to add.
Okay.
Okay. So what is 5 plus 8?
5 plus 8 is 13.
Yes. So this is -13. All right. Now what if it is 4, -4 minus 6? Are
Since
these
they're both
same?
different numbers, I'll see which one's farther than 0. So 6 is farther than 0. Then I'll do 4 plus.
So this is really -4 plus -6.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing. And
Yes.
then -6. Then I'll see. Then I'll do 6 plus 4 is -10.
Okay, let's try one more here. -3 minus 9.
-3. So -3 subtract 9. So I'll turn the sign, the subtracting sign, into a positive sign and turn the 9 into a negative.
So it's plus -9 like that.
Yes. Then I'll add them up to see what they were, which they equal -12.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So the two important things today that we talked about is to be able to if they are same sign or they are opposite in sign, you have to be able to go between these. That's
Yeah.
what's really going to be really important for you. So the lessons are 50 minutes.